quick Bitcoin video just to kind of give it a little touch up process. Of course, as you know, I always say try to look at the macro, but everybody's a little fixated on what's happening on these small moves inside of what is a really what I think a falling wedge. This small move, every angle, every person that thinks they know TA is going to throw little angles in here and tell you every pump is going straight up, but that's just not the way it goes with TA. So there's my little rant. On the 4-hour chart right now, we still are in this falling wedge pattern that I've had for a couple months now. And we haven't broken out of it. Now, just to kind of get on the micro is 4-hour, and then we're going to even get down to the 1 hour, what I think this is going to do, or has been doing. This is higher lows if you're looking at it in a certain way, and I could definitely even put down some kind of a triangle here, or diagonal trend line here, that this could be kind of using as a support, which it has been, and which is making it go into a kind of another triangle, right? Another symmetrical triangle if you're really looking at it inside this gigantic, like I said, falling wedge. There's always the little patterns, but besides the patterns, we're going to have to go off the Bollinger Band. So on the 4-hour, what I think is happening right now, which actually looks pretty good, is that 20-day moving average is holding support after it's hit off the top Bollinger Band. Now there is kind of a squeeze going here. And anywhere in between, 80,000 and 87,000 is going to be the range, but I kind of have these blue horizontal trend line set up just to split this in half. What do I see with Bitcoin right now? I see a bunch of sideways action on the 4-hour, giving it a little bit of oomph. And what I'm going to do is go to the stock RSI in a second here, but this is kind of what I'm seeing, right? That could happen on the 4-hour sideways. It's trying to, in my thought process, is working its way back up to this diagonal support where I believe it's going to get rejected, but that's just at this point, and this is where my thesis has been. But of course, anything can happen in the land crypto and Bitcoin. But that's what I'm looking at. What I'm going to pull up right now really quick is the stock RSI. And the reason why I pull this up on the daily, it looks like it could give just even a little oomph up more. But here, I'll even draw it. If you're looking down here at the stock, and this is the momentum and the volume, it could even go a little bit more up to almost this 100 mark, where this could start to kind of keel over and make its way down too. Which would coincide with what I think is happening, where we're going to the $73,000 mark. I don't think we're going straight down, but I think it's going to be something like that. Now, anybody that knows my TA, and this would coincide with the stock RSI, anybody that knows my TA, of course, we're in a falling wedge, in my opinion. But if you really, let me go to the daily on this, if you really zoom out on the macro, and that's really how I like to trade and look at it, because you can know those huge swings. I think we're in a rising, broadening wedge, which is a bullish pattern, and I think this has been happening for almost 2 years now. And I think, and this is just reiteration on what I've said before, we are still in this falling wedge. I think we're trying to make our way down to the $73,000 mark, somewhere around there. Could even get down to 70, because this is a heavy drop, right? This is a big drop. This is going all the way from 108,000 at the top, and we're trying to say this is almost like a $30,000-$40,000 drop in what I think is a bull market. This trend is still going up, guys. Okay, so people are freaking out. I think at some point this is going to bounce off of this support here on the diagonal support line, breaking out of this falling wedge, and I think that is when it's going to start making its next move up. And that could be a really big move. That could be a really big bounce here. This could be generational buy-in here. You know what I'm saying? If you're really looking out on this is just my thesis. Nothing has been proven wrong so far. So like I said, I'm not going to change this, but this is what I really think is going to happen in the land of patterns. Now, this is going to be sideways for a few months. Bitcoin's going to get boring for a few months, in my opinion. I have been saying this for a couple of months. People thought it was going to go straight up here. I believe that's not how it's going to go. We are on the daily, so I get to show you what this daily Bollinger Band is telling me, which is in a line with the 4-hour. But remember, and I'm going to draw, let me go ahead and take some of these horizontal supports out here so I can get you to understand the Bollinger Bands a little bit more. they're kind of constricting a little bit, but what you're seeing is, and I'm going to draw on this, is right now up here, here, little squigglies, right? And right here, it's now trying to see what it's going to do out this 20-day moving average, which is doing something like that, right? So you can see where it's used this 20-day moving average to reject and be resistance so many times. And right now, it did pop through, but what you're waiting for, if you're really looking at this, and this is why I made that one tweet, you're waiting for this. If this closes on top of this 20-day moving average, there's no reason to tell me why this can't just squeeze along here and maybe even give this a pop out of the falling wedge, right? But if this daily closes below this, you're going to see something, and you're really going to see if that's going to reject there and kind of squeeze and start making its next way down. And that could be what the play is there. But it could go both ways. But like I said, this daily close is actually pretty big in Bollinger Band land because, like I said, just how this 20-day moving average in the middle of these Bollinger Bands reacts. Now, the good thing about this, and why I think this is going to go sideways and it might even have a little bounce, is because that's really scoped out of the bottom Bollinger Band, that it's made its way up with enough oomph to get to that 20-day moving average. Like, again, I'm going to draw something like that, right? The top of this Bollinger Band is starting to kind of do one of these things too. So if this closes on the top of this Bollinger Band, on this daily, I think it's going to start making its way up, and it really could at least touch this point. If this, or it could go up like that, but I still think this is going to hold resistance on this diagonal support right here. Or I'm sorry, resistance right there. I think that's going to hold resistance, and I think that it's either way. I think we're going down to 73,000, like I've said. So that's just where I think we are right now with Bitcoin. And like I said, I don't want too many people just going every small move and freaking out. Oh, it's a bear trap. It's a bull trap. No, it's in this huge pattern. And until this diagonal trend line breaks, there's nothing that says that this is going to go up anytime soon. This is what you're really looking for, is this diagonal trend line to break. But like I said, I don't think it's going to. But this daily Bollinger Band action, this can really tell you a story. Like I said, this will tell you if this has enough momentum to really kind of make its next move up, or if this is going to drop. I personally think that this is going to go sideways for a little bit, and then I think it's going to drop. So that's just what I'm saying. I think we're in sideways action. The Fed didn't do anybody any favors. There's no awesome bullish, no bearish, and I think it's just going to squeeze all the way, and then it's going to move down to its next move. It's going to take a lot of people by surprise, but not the people that watch my TA. If that ever was to change, I would definitely let you know. But until then, when in doubt, zoom out, right? And I think we're in this huge rising broadening wedge. Now this could go a lot of different ways, but right now I still think we're bullish. I think this could go a little bit more down, right? Another even $10,000 and have that bounce, and we're still bullish. So that's just what I think, guys. If you need anything, just let me know. DM me. It'd be great.